The past year has been an example of everything you teach in my life. Manifestation of things beyond even my ability to believe sometimes. So my life has really just been, dream of something, don't know how you're gonna get them, leap and the net will appear. And it's been unbelievable. Just bigger things than I even hoped for in many ways. So I feel on many levels, on every level, that I've mastered a lot of the works of my thoughts. However, there are a few, maybe 2 or 3 categories in my life that although I have no worry about them, have no doubt about the manifestation of them in the most beautiful way, just like anything else is manifested. But because there are areas of my life that I continue to want to produce results in, and those results haven't manifested as quickly as I'd like them to be.
Do you remember earlier in our conversation today, we talked about the better it gets, the better it gets. Yeah. And how there is a little hook in there for you that sometimes will get you, because the better it gets, the better it gets. And as some things get better, and then other things aren't getting better quite quick enough, and then there's a comparison between the things that are getting better and the things that aren't getting better, then it sort of has a backlash. And all of it means you're a little more conditional than you mean to be. You're a little more of noting the results than you are of the vibration. Because if you were really just enjoying the vibration, oh, you're going to like this. This is how you know the difference. If you were really just enjoying the vibration, which is the healthiest place for you to be, then it wouldn't matter to you. So in this continuum of the thought that is just beginning to turn to the thing and the thought that has turned all the way to the satisfying thing, if you really were mostly exhilarated about the feeling of it, then you really wouldn't care where you are in the continuum of it becoming, because things are unfolding, and you don't have to be all the way there in order to feel good. That's the first time that we've ever said that, and it matters a lot. Think about it. So if you're happy on your way, then you're living life just as you intended. If you're unhappy on your way, or comparing on your way to something that is more happy, then you're hindering yourself just a little bit. So you might say to yourself, what difference does it make how close to the manifestation I am if I'm having fun on my way to the manifestation? And we would really like it. We've been talking to you all for years about this. We would like it if you could take the manifestation all the way out of the equation. But then you think that what we're trying to get you to do is just be happy and never mind about the stuff you want. And that isn't what we mean at all. We mean you'll get the stuff you want by being happy without it. You say, oh, Abraham, I don't want to be happy without the stuff I want, because won't the universe say, oh, they're happy without the stuff they want, so don't give them the stuff they want? No, it doesn't work like that. If you're happy without the stuff you want is coming. But if you're unhappy about the stuff you want, then the stuff you want can't come. Ooh.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've really been in a place, you've spoken about this before earlier. I've really been in a place with finances, for instance. I've had everything on every scale with finances. I've been really successful and really not. But this year, although it seemed like I was not at all in my most successful place financially, anything I ever dreamed of affording came to me without me having the resources, the money to pay for it.
It's really a wonderful thing when you do not try to dictate the vortex through which your well-being comes. When you don't assign a condition or a process to be the carrier of something that you want, but you open to the larger universe and all of its resources, then it is.
And then jumps my comparison, and I say, well, wait, if I can manifest all of this, why can't I manifest the result?
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
Okay.
It's all coming. Here is a good rule of thumb, and it's really come from this discussion that we've had here today. Appreciate when it's easy to appreciate. And don't try to make yourself appreciate something that you're not naturally appreciating, because that falls into the category of efforting, and then it works against you. So let's say that there are 5 things you want, and 3 of them you have and 2 of them you don't have. Well, don't work on the 2 you don't have, just appreciate the 3 you do. And by appreciating the 3 you do, the other 2 will come into alignment. But if you pretend that you're appreciating the 2 that you're not really appreciating, now you're efforting. Now you've stirred stuff up. Esther sort of did that with her suitcase. It is no coincidence that her brand new Toomey suitcase was the one that got banged down so hard that the wheel came off. Everything that has everything to do with any of you, but let's talk about that specifically. Everything that has to do with Esther has a sort of lighted vibration on it. And the vibration that Esther has assigned to it is it's getting that treatment from the universe. Everything that touches any of you does. So your bank account has your vibrational number on it. Your vehicles, your assets, your ideas, your talents, your relationships. In other words, nothing that you think about is ever apart from you. So law of attraction is not just responding to you, it's responding to everything about you. Ooh, don't you like knowing that? So let's say Esther was appreciating her suitcase. Let's say she had stood there and just appreciated this lovely thing that carries the stuff she wants from place to place. If she had just spent a little bit of time appreciating, she could have tipped that balance and her suitcase would not have been mishandled. It is our absolute promise to her and to you. But that suitcase represented a sore knee. And she stood in a sort of determination, oh no, you're not going to do that to me again. And so, you think this is crazy talk? This is law of attraction talk. So the suitcase became more burdensome than it had ever been, because with not one wheel, only one wheel left, it becomes a sled that has what? What's the difference between a suitcase? Toomey suitcases are so lovely, they almost pull themselves. The engineering of those wheels is really, really divine. What's the difference between pulling a suitcase with 2 perfectly functioning wheels and one with only one wheel? What's the difference? More resistance. More resistance. Everything is about these laws. Everything is about them. And it will play out in every way until you go, I see now.
I feel like that right now, just with what you said.
Yeah.
I have a ex-business partner I just haven't been feeling right about things. I've tried to correct.
X for a reason, huh?
Yeah. And we've tried different things and I've decided, you know what, for this year, I just need to let it go. Just let it be away from me for a little while. And recently he's wanted to go on a trip with some of my best friends that he didn't even know, just through me. And I was asked the question of whether or not I was okay with that. And my problem was, my initial thought or feeling was no. But I give myself a hard time with saying no, because who I want to be is a person who is not ego-driven and would accept.
We don't want you to be ego-driven. We want you to be alignment called. There's a difference between being driven and being inspired. And so when you realize that you've put it all in your vortex and now your vortex is calling you to it, when you think about what you're inclined to say yes to and what you're inclined to say no to, don't let that be a bad thing to not feel like you want to say yes to something. It isn't. That's like saying, I'm going to get on the highway, and even though there are these lines that represent lanes, I don't want to be guided by that, so I'm going to drive all around. And we say, that's fine, except nobody else really understands that, and it's going to make a lot of trouble in your world. So sometimes it's helpful to think about what you're saying yes to, because every subject is really 2 subjects, wanted and unwanted. And so you can softly just say, what I really want is, when the impulse to say no comes up, no, I don't really want to do that. If you justify all the reasons you don't want to do that, you activate all that old stuff, which is now present now, which now is affecting every relationship you have. And that's why you wisely and intuitively know that's not the way to go about it. So if you say, well, what is it that I want to say yes to? That softens it, first of all, and then you can think about what it is you really like. Well, I really like being with my friends, and I really like the easiness that we all have together. And one of the reasons that we like to be together, what I'm saying yes to, one of the reasons that we like to be together is that we are, for the most part, on the same wavelength. And this is a vacation, which means it's a rest or respite for us. And so it's something where I really want relaxation. I really want something, I don't want to work at it. I really want relaxation about it. I really want to have fun. I want to feel easy about it. This is the thing, oh, such a good question. This is the thing that we want all of you to hear about this. You are not inappropriate when you take the path of least resistance. You mostly don't know that because you've been trained. If it's not hard, you're not getting anywhere. And if you don't struggle, then it doesn't really count. And if there's not some pain, then there can't be any gain. And those are all such flawed premises. They fly in the face of the laws of the universe as we know them to be. So we want you to soothe yourself into saying, it's all right for me to let my alignment come first. And so if I'm faced with a situation where I know my alignment is going to be challenged, there's nothing wrong with you taking the path of least resistance, because when you accomplish a resistant-free path, you get alignment. And when you get alignment, you get resources, you get replenishment, you get stuff to give to everyone. If you are not selfish enough to align yourself with your resources, you don't have anything to give anyone. And haven't you all had the experience where you did something that you really didn't want to do, and then it just kept showing you why you didn't want to do it? And so the way we talked about that here today was by saying, this thought must turn to this thing, and this thought must turn to this thing. So here's what you got to do. When someone hits you with something and it hits you right here, if you can't turn this thought to this thought, don't do it. That's the answer, isn't it? So could you do that? Could you say, well, that was then, this is now, and we're different people? You can't usually do that all of a sudden, can you? To turn that thought about a past relationship to this thought about a past relationship might take a few days of meditation. We wouldn't just do it on the fly. We wouldn't do it in real time. We wouldn't say, it's sort of like saying, well, my vibrational meter tells me that the way I feel about you and everything that's come down is going to result in more misery. But I think I'll just play it out and try to solve it in the middle of the misery. We'll just fight it out. We'll just fight it out until it gets better. You hear what we're saying, don't you? And so if you can't move it in the vibrational stage, then don't move toward it. And so no is the right answer. And if you want to soften it a little bit, you could say, I have to say no because I'm not in the right place for us to have a good outcome. In other words, that's telling it like it is. I have to say no, not because there's something wrong with you, but because I haven't come to the resolution that I need to be at in order for us to have the fantastic time that I now demand of myself. I got to have fun or I don't want to go. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
That's amazing.
You have shifted in this time that we've been together. Your point of attraction is different than it was. You now are at a different vibrational place, and every relationship that you've ever had and every relationship that you are yet to discover has changed as a result of these conversations. Because of your willingness to listen and participate and resonate with this vibrational understanding of the way the laws of the universe work, your future experience has been dramatically altered, and we are excited to tell you that as a result of these conversations, the things that come from them will be better than they would have been if you had not participated with this thought. We also want you to know that we'll be experiencing your evolution along with you. We were talking about your connection to things. And in conversations like this, we all become more vibrationally, more dynamically, because of momentum, more connected. And so your awareness of what the source within you is thinking about things is now going to be keener than it's ever been before, which means your emotions are going to stand out more for you. You might find yourself a little more frustrated about things that usually aren't frustrating, because your vibration has shifted enough that your set point or your measuring point or your perspective point, the point at which you are measuring your perspectives, has changed, which is a really good thing.